as promised, young, vibrant, some would even say daring. He ran for a parliamentary seat even while being a career journalist and clinched it. But what has life been like since? And more importantly, how has the transition changed his life? We're talking to Nyali, Member of Parliament, my colleague in the industry, and now Mheshimiwa Mohamed Ali, or as some would like to call him, Jicho Pevu. Karibu sana kwenye hot seat.
Asante.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Now we have been together in this industry. You have left us. You've gone to Parliament. I don't know whether to call you MOHA.
MOHA is enough.
Mheshimiwa Ali.
Yeah, MOHA.
MOHA Jicho Pevu. MOHA imetosha.
MOHA imetosha.
Wengine watasema sina heshima, jamani, naongelesha mheshimiwa tu hivyo MOHA.
Mwambie wewe ni wetu.
Mimi ni wenu.
Yeah.
Kabisa Mhesh. Take us to, because this is the hot seat and we like to tell your story. Take us to where it all began for you. Who is MOHA? Where did you come from? How was life growing up for you? School?
MOHA is a real hustler. Yeah. I was brought up in Thika for the nursery primary, and then later on secondary I went to Gatundu. From Gatundu I went to Nakuru, did my O-level. After that I came back to Nairobi. I did my diploma in journalism at Newslink Institute of Journalism. That was in Thika. And then after that, I started hustling now, looking for a job. It was very difficult to get a job in Kenya. Leave alone a job. Getting an attachment was a real thing those days. If you got an attachment, and the only media houses that were offering attachments by then were KBC and partly Nation and KTN. But everybody was scrambling for KBC. So after running up and down, struggling, I got an attachment with KBC. And that's where it all began. By that time, I had a diploma. So we struggled there. After 3 months, they take away the card from you, that card that is written you're an artist. Then you cannot be able to access the studios. So ile ujanja too. Sometimes I use the GSU side. The little fare I had, I could surrender to the GSUs. I'll come through the back door, do everything assigned, but I'll never leave the compound. If I leave, I'll always leave when I'm in the car. And I think they got hold of me one day, and I was kicked out forever.
You were busted.
Yes, and I remember Sophie Kulei. There's a lady called Sophie Kulei. There were some friendly guys there who were really trying to help me. So I went to Mombasa and tried Pwani FM by that time. There was a guy by the name of James Mwaura. He was in charge, the manager. And Mwaura gave me an opportunity, though I worked for 9 months without salary. And we changed. Pwani FM used to play like basically a coastal issue. So we changed the station clock to accommodate other people who are not from coastal region. And after that, I went to Saudi Arabia, I think in 2013, if I'm not wrong. That was on 15th of December or 12th of December there. And I went to Saudi Arabia where I worked as a barista, as a coffee seller, like a waiter at Starbucks Coffee. I think it's an international brand. It's known by everybody. So I stayed there for close to 3 years. I did perform my pilgrimage, and then I came back and I said, no, you know what? I'm going to chase my dream. I'm still a journalist. So I started applying all over. I've applied to all the radio stations and TV stations by that time, including, there was one called, I don't know, Waumini or Biblia Usema, along Thika Road. And I couldn't get anything. So I stayed and said that one day I'll get this job. But the blame game started. Oh, you left a good job abroad. Now you're coming to suffer here. All of a sudden, a friend of mine from Saudi Arabia came visiting. And I was taking him around. So I told him, let me take you to Mombasa. At least you see the beaches and everything. So on our way to Mombasa, I was called because I applied for Radio Salam in Mombasa. So I was called by Abdul Haj, the son of the senator, and he told me, Mohamed Ali, yes, we need you to come and do your interview tomorrow. I said, of course, I'll be there, because now I'm on a Mombasa road heading to Mombasa.
Yes.
So that's where everything changed. By that time, the person who was in charge were Radio Salam was a guy by the name of Phil Matthews. Ni mzungu. He's the one who started Akina Easy, Capital FM, whatever, Kiss. He was the man behind all those stations. And I wanted a position of a reporter. All of a sudden, I was told that, look, I think out of all these people, your KCV is a little bit heavy, kidogo. You can be a producer. So I was manning 18 people. I was manning some of the top uh, anchors and reporters in this country by then. And after that, we worked hard. We really worked very hard. We used to do a show with Ali Manzu, one show in radio. And 6, 8 months to one, close to 1 year, uh, KTN came on knocking the door and the nation. In fact, I was called for an interview on the same day, same time,
Wow.
by both the stations. So I rushed to Nation. I started with Nation. I finished with Nation. When I came to KTN, I was asked why was I late, and thanks God by then there was a problem. There was too much traffic snarl up in Mombasa Road. So I explained that there was a snarl up, and I was given an opportunity for an interview. I did. All of a sudden, I got KTN. So we were brought in 3 people only. Myself, Frank Otieno, and Ali Manzu. We were seen as a dream team. I don't know what they saw in us. They brought us on board. So, and you know, when you bring a villager from Mombasa to KTN, and people are like, sasa huyu Msomali anajua Kiswahili. You know, those tuhula balus of, you know, people talking about our confidence,
Yes.
our background.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden we started. Our scripting was amazing. We could script, but we couldn't be able to voice. Our script will be used. And one day we got hold of the running order, because sisi tulikuwa watu wale wa other stories, number
I
18,
remember
number
those
18,
ones.
yeah. So we started with feature. Farida Karunei told me, look, you don't need to fight for the top stories, start with feature. And that's how we started, and now I specialized in investigation.
Just like that, and it blew up. But I want to take you back just a bit. What was this driving force that you had to get into journalism, and you have gone to school for it? It's so hard to get a job, and you just don't give up.
I think it's a struggle and injustice everywhere. When we were, when we were growing up, we could see that we, the poor, have no future. We, the poor, have no say in this country. You could see the way the police will arrest us for no reason, beat us, torture us. You could see when a poor man goes and seeks for justice, nothing is being done. By that time, I was watching a very interesting investigative program. I don't know if you were born by then. Derek,
Ah, yes, I was.
did you watch Derek?
Yes, I was.
There was Derek, and there was this one for like a small dog which used to rescue people all the time. I can't remember the name, but I was a fan of Derek and Tahamaki. And I was watching all these things, and it started there. And I'm like, you know what? One day I'll be a good cop. In fact, I wanted to be a police officer,
Oh, yeah?
or a military man, to serve my country. But I tried all of them. I never got hold of them because there was a lot of bribery during those days. So I ended up being a good cop with a microphone, a notebook, and a pen.
Which is very important, actually. Then you come and carve this very strong niche in investigative journalism. Your nickname out there, is MOHA Jicho Pevu. How did you get into this? I know you're saying that your former boss, now Waziri, told you, look, focus on features. So then you get into investigative features, become very strong with your colleague, John Allen. How was that process for you?
When I started doing the normal features. When Farida, we used to hide near the toilet. Myself, Evelyn, Wamboi, Frank Otieno, those people who feel like they cannot challenge the status quo in the media industry, we used to hide near the toilet. So Farida one day came walking around and like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm working on a feature. Which feature is that? So I said Korodani or something, you know, testicle cancers. And she laughed. She really laughed at me. I say, okay, I would love to see this Korodani thing. Hebu maliza haraka so. So I did it, and she was very happy. The following Tuesday, we used to have meeting, I think every Tuesday. And everybody clapped for me and like, wow, this is now the beginning. And Kizito Namulanda is a man that I really respect. Kizito called me into his office and he told me, he was the managing editor Kiswahili. And he told me, you know, what exactly do you want? I say, I want to do investigations. So they gave me the support, and I started doing with the small things that I could see when I was in the street. The pickpocketing, you know, those guys who used to sell yellow paper bags in the evening, they pretend they are selling and then they pickpocket you. That the phones, you are shown an original phone and then you get a toy phone or the one with matope. So I started with those things. Then it picked up. Then I went to strippers club. You know, there was a first strippers club in Nairobi, and when I showed the people what is going on, and the people were really shocked. So Jicho Pevu started. You know, I started fighting for the airtime to get 3 minutes at KTN. At KTN was very difficult. So I used to get 7 minutes for Jicho Pevu. We started with 7 minutes, and then we did one controversial story of these enlargements things, you know. Men can enlarge their, women can enlarge whatever they want, and it brought a lot of issue. I saw Njoroge Mora apologizing, I saw Alimanzu apologizing, and I'm like, wow, this is the end of me. But deep in my heart, I was like, but this thing is really is happening, so why should I worry about it? And Kenyans were not buying such thing. I think because of our culture by then, people were like guarded and afraid. But after that, we started now kicking off. Tukaanza high, pole pole. We reached to a level that now we say we demand 1 hour so that we can be able to tell the story. Because when we do 10 minutes or 7 minutes, part two will be stopped. They will rush to court and stop part two. So we'll rather go head on. By the time we rush to court, we are done. Now we can take each other to court if there's anything.
But then a lot of people at that time started viewing you as very controversial.
Yeah.
Do you agree you took a controversial stand, or you were just out there to tell the truth as it is?
I think I took a stand that everybody was afraid of. In the media industry, people talk about the two sides of the story, and that's what they teach you even in school.
Yes.
They tell you, be objective, listen to him and listen to her, and then do a story. But I chose to have the three sides of the story.
Yes.
Your side, my side, and then the truth, which we always,
Yes.
you know, there's some assignment that you can be sent and you know this is the truth.
Yes.
Even without broadcasting,
Yes.
you can tell this is the truth. So I chose to do the third part of the story, which is the truth. And yes, people viewed me as controversial. People viewed me as a guy that if I appear anywhere, you leave your food and run away. It was difficult. Yes. Until now people started accepting it because now it's fighting for them.
Were there times that I think we used to hear it, but now let's hear it from you, that it would become so serious that you'd have to do a story and just disappear?
Yes.
Like not be around because that's a italeta shida.
Sometimes when you are watching Jicho Pevu, we are not in the country. We are outside the country when you're watching.
It was that bad.
Yeah, and sometimes you are within the country, but with our intelligence very high. Yeah, we've left the country many times. With Namu, we've gone to Germany. In exile, I've gone to Norway. We've gone to many. Namu has gone also to South Africa. We've gone to many countries in exile. I remember when we went to Germany, it was all about the Track It story. We went there and we were attached with Deutsche Welle. We worked there for close to, I think, 3 months. The weather there killed us. Sometimes we say, let us come and die at home rather than dying there. I also went to Norway with Dennis Osarigo. That was Paruanja la Mihadarati. We stayed there for so long, and again, we can't live there. Sometimes we are given an opportunity to denounce our nationality so that we can be able to live in Norway, but we refused. We said, me, I couldn't live there, by the way, because of the weather, people, and the food, and my family. So we came back, and that has been our life. Sometimes self-exile within, sometimes outside the country, and sometimes you just will go missing without appearing anywhere for some time until everything cools down.
And that's how now you realize you have to stand for the truth in your story. And that is journalism, basically. for us. So you make a dramatic shift from the newsroom to politics. What happened there?
I think I decided to leave the newsroom because of the impunity that was there by then. We, the management started like, let me not say the entire management, but some few people who are in charge of the newsroom started, cutting us down. You know, when we do a story, they will demand that this part should be removed. And we felt very sad. We were like, if you remove this part, why can't you kill the entire story? Why do we protect this person and we leave the other person? So it was a very difficult stage for us. And when they killed more than 3 to 5 stories, we sat down, myself, John Alanamu, and Kasim Mohammed, and we say, look, there is no future for us here. If this is the trend, there is no future for us. So we decided to come up with our own company while we are inside Standard Group KTN. So we started African Uncensored, and we started looking for donors and everything. And we were ready to go now. So now, exit plan. So Namu, Kasim, Sam, they had to leave first. I was the last person to leave. And they left. We employed some guys and we started doing our job very perfectly. So me, I was the last one to leave, but we couldn't get the money that we were expecting from the donors. So even if I leave, I won't have a salary and I have children there. So they told me, you stick around. Sasa when I left, I was alone there. Now they worked on me properly. I couldn't be able to broadcast at 7 p.m. I couldn't be able to do news. I couldn't be able to do investigations. Every time I bring an investigation idea on board, they say like no, or they let me do the entire scripting, editing, and everything. And then now going through my story will take them time, like 2, 3, even 2 months. So I felt like I'm not wanted here. But it was not the management, the entire management. It was one person or two people who didn't want. Maybe for bitterness because I was making a lot of money more than them. Maybe because I was shining and they felt like they couldn't be able to handle me because if I bring up an idea, it was taken very quickly. So I decided and say now, since I don't have a future here, let me start planning myself. Same case applies to Dennis Onsarigo. Dennis was only surviving on case file. He was not on news and everywhere. They just killed him completely. So me, I refused to die. So one day when I'm going home to my house in Mombasa, when I'm walking around, then there's this wazee wa mtaa. When I'm sitting with them, see, they are talking about politics. And they are like, "We Jicho Pevu, you know everything, you tell us." So I told them, when you are given a right candidate, you don't vote for him because of party and tribe. So you will remain like this forever. And then one mzee says, why can't you then vie? We challenge you. You're a good man. Why can't you vie? Just like that. And I said, no, you lie to me, guys. Let me just concentrate with my job. And then we are giving you some few weeks. Go and think about it. If you are ready, come back. So I went home and measured. KTN, one person is killing me. That time it was managing editor, Joe Ageo, was really killing me completely. He was everything that I do, the script, everything. The authority must come from him for my story to go on air. So even the other guys were afraid. So I just mentioned, I said, Joe doesn't want me. He doesn't want my career to grow. Here I am, the old man here in the village are telling me to vie. So I say, fire, let me try it. And I told Akinanamu, since the donor is not coming, let me try my luck this side, rather than suffering in a place where I can't do what I love doing. So I went.
And were you expecting like, because politics is, hey, it's fire, man.
No, politics is honesty, but you'll
It's
deal with,
honesty.
yeah, but you'll deal with,
Really? Really?
once you're honest with the people, it's easy. But you'll deal with the crooks. You might come in thinking that you are, you know, telling people the honest thing, but there are some crooks waiting for the 11th hour to cut you down into size, and that's what they did to me. So me, I came with my ideology, the ODM ideology. I, of course, was a very stronghold for ODM. You couldn't be able to vie. In fact, there is no MCA in Coast with a Jubilee ticket. So I came on board and I said that I want this seat. Joho had his own brother there, but they were lying to me. Oh, don't worry, my brother can't, can't fight with you on this seat. This is your seat, blah blah. So we continued, and then it came to nomination. Me, everybody, I thought everybody is a Muslim. No one will kill each other because we go to the ballot nomination. Whoever wins, we agree. Apparently, that's when I saw a lot of things that I've never seen. The book that was brought for the voters book was not from Nyali, but from Likoni. People were being ferried. The inspectorate, county inspectorate, were handling the nomination. And that is conflict of interest because the inspectorate work for Governor Joho. If they come and operate, then it means they are working for the brother to the governor. So they kicked me out. I followed the law. I'm still thinking that there is justice. I followed the law and went to tribunal. Yes, the tribunal said the ticket should be returned to the winner. Immediately they said that I saw Junet on TV announcing that Saido is the winner and is the one who is going to run an ODM ticket in Nyali. So I said, what? There's no time. You can't jump to another party. Yes. The only thing you can do is independent. Again, I refuse to die. I rushed to Nairobi, choose my slogan very quickly, my logo and everything, and I came back to the people. And I told them, listen, I don't have a party, but I only have you and God. You guys help me now. They told me, you come, even if you come with a party called shoes or whatever, we will give you. So I started the campaign. And amazing, in the morning when I'm going to vote, when you look at the people, they are telling you, can you go and stand near the parliament because you are being sweared in. Don't come here, just go and wait there. We know what to do, we are the voters here. So by evening, it was a whitewash. Out of 165 polling stations, I won in 164. The 65th one, we went equal with the brother Sujo.
Did you expect that?
I really didn't
As an
expect that.
independent candidate, and honestly,
I really didn't
knowing
expect.
that Coast is
I really didn't expect that.
ODM.
It caught me off guard, and that is why I'm really fighting for these people, and that is why I'm really doing all I can for Nyalians because of what they did to me. So I got 26,000 votes. The guy from ODM got 16, and a Jubilee guy, I think, 10. A difference of 10,000. Now I'm taken to court again. And I'm like, utatuona, tuko na pesa, we'll buy the judge. Okay, they have the judge, I have my God. So we went to court. And, I always enjoy being in front of a lady judge or a magistrate because I feel she's a mother. She can't steal the milk from her child. So when I saw that I'm being brought a judge who is a lady there, a mama, kwanza roho yangu ikatulia. I'm like, this is a mother to all of us. She will make sure everything is fair. So this guy like tumelipa, you hear a lot of things. Oh, but I'm with my God. I've never stolen. I've never done anything wrong during the election. God is my witness. So I won again, High Court, and they were told to pay me 5 or 7 million. They went to the Court of Appeal. Bado tutamwaga zaidi. They keep on threatening me with issues of bribery, which is not there. Then they brought in 3 judges were brought from the Court of Appeal. 2 are ladies, 1 is a man. And I'm like, oh God, you're still hearing me. A mother cannot steal. And then we won again. So they say we are going to Supreme. In fact, I had the most difficult 1 year. After that, after 14 days, I think they pulled out and left me alone. Because even the people back at home in Mombasa, they were like, nyinyi mnadhulumu kijana, hii ni chuki. He has won, nyinyi mmeshinda, mbona yenyu hatupigi kelele? Why do you keep on harassing this young man who has nothing? You are using your money and power against him. So 1 year I wasted in court, and then the second year I started now working very, very hard. Yeah.
How was that transition for you from the newsroom to now politics? Was there any hostility like from some of your colleagues in the house? Sasa wewe ulikuwa unatupiga, sasa umekuja.
No, I was expecting something different. When I came to the house, because of the politics that was being played outside, I thought when I came into the chamber, ODM and Jubilee will never see eye to eye, will never agree on anything. They will fight like that for another 5 years. when I came in, these guys are buddies. They drink together, they laugh together, they do business together, and I'm like, okay, so this is how it is. But outside, we are told a lot of our ground is different. So I came in and I was so much focusing on my constituency and national issues that will arise by then. I brought in some motions, I'm working on some bills, and the only thing that has never settled well with me is people thinking that I'm that messiah who was supposed to be sent to parliament to change everything. What they forget is that I have a mandate for my people in Nyali. But if I see anything bad nationally, I will speak about it. So you'll see somebody telling you, Jicho Pevu tulikutuma bunge hata umenyamaza. But enda uulize watu wa Nyali kama mimi nanyamaza, because there is roads, there is schools, there is water, there is bursary, there is driving, there is everything that these people have been asking for. NHIF, recently I give to more than 800 old men in the village. I paid for them 1 year. The schools are there. When I came to Nyali, there was only one public secondary school. Now we have close to 7 that are built. You know, bursaries have spent 120 million, you know, for from 2018-19 to 20 now. We are taking our children everywhere to make sure that I've bought school bus, you know, employed a lot of people in different places in this country. So sometimes people say, Jicho Pevu wewe pia uliingia ukanyamaza, but nimeingia natetea watu wangu. So you cannot tell me mambo ya Embakasi ama mambo ya Bondo ama mambo ya Nyeri and you have your own MP. Let him sort you out, because I'm sorting my people out. So that is one of the things that people don't understand, that I belong to Nyali. I'm married there for 5 years. I'll serve my people. And those are the people who are supposed to question me, not any other person.
But now that you're on the hot seat, some critics have accused you of nepotism, especially in the use of your CDF and the officers that you have put there. How would you respond to those claims that there is nepotism playing around?
Those are hula balloons. 80% of the staffs are Luo.
What?
Yes, you can go and check. You can go and check who are running the office. I have a Masai, I have balanced, I have a Kisi, I have a Kamba, I have a Luo, I have a Luya, I have a Mswahili, I have a Pokomo. I think I'm the only stranger in that office.
You very well could be.
Yeah, so if people say that there is nepotism, then they should go there and ask. Call them by their names and you'll find out. People even don't know my tribe. There is no single Somali or a single in that house, because people say that amejaza wa Somali, amejaza kabila yake. Hakuna. I balance all the tribes and they are there. In fact, I don't need to tell you this. You need to go there and call them out by names. Yes. In fact, the majority are the Luos. Yes.
All right. But in the same breath, these people who are now asking you that Jicho Pevu tulikutuma kule lakini sasa umenyamaza. Let's talk about one particular issue, which is drug trafficking.
Yes.
And drug abuse, because Paruanja was very big.
Yes, yes.
We're not hearing that from you now when you're in the house. What are you doing about the fight against drug trafficking and drug abuse, especially in the coast? Not at Nyali, but as a coastal legislator.
Before the recess, I think 3 weeks ago before the recess, I appeared before the committee and I presented the changes that we wanted. And those changes are very tough on peddler, on user, and on drug baron, until you are proven innocent. For the police officers, it's 20 million and prison. For the users, they have their own. If you are arrested with more than a gram, you are not a user. You are a peddler. So we will treat you as one. So if this bill passes, then you'll see a lot of changes in this country. Because now we cannot be able to arrest you without a tough law, a stiffer one that will put you down, pin you down. This bill gives the power, the police, to intercept your communication. This bill gives the power to the police to wire your house or whatever where you are doing. We can plant some cameras and everything to get the evidence. Because if you are told that the cars comes here and unload the drugs, pack them into sachets, we can give these powers to the police. So yes, People think that I'm quiet, but the bill is not like the motion that you stand in parliament and talk. Let's hope and pray that members of parliament will pass this bill, because I've seen the committee has no problem with it. They like it and they have approved it. So it will come to the House, first reading and second, and then it becomes a bill. Now see what the police of this country will do to the user, to the baron, and to the peddler.
I hope even as the House, if it passes, we'll be able to hold them to account.
Yes.
On that.
Yes.
Because this is such a menace.
It is. It is killing our children have been turned into zombies. I mean, why don't we have cocaine or heroin in Kisumu, Nyeri, Garissa, Nairobi? If it is in Nairobi, it's just a few. The children of the rich will have those cracks. But why do we only have in Mombasa? It's because it's a transit. It's where every evil is being done. It's a sin city where people believe ukienda Mombasa ni raha tu. We want to change that perception. Ukikuja Mombasa ni heshima na nidhamu.
Do you think it can be done?
It can be done. Let's get this law first on board. The bill becomes a law. And then you see what the police will do. Anti-narcotics, the Kenya police. Because even the police now will be afraid. If you help somebody, you will also be charged 20 million or how many years in prison? 5 to 6 years in prison. Right. So that's one. The other thing is that I brought a motion of health, building of referral hospital in all the 47 counties. You remember that one I was saying that we will die. We will go outside, we'll be brought with the caskets to knee. And it's happening. We are dying. So that is for the national. And it was approved. I don't know why it is still sitting there at the Ministry of Health. They need to release it so that all the counties can build a referral hospital. You can imagine Kenya, we are at 57 or 56. There, we only have 2 referral hospitals since independence. Kenyatta and the Moi one in Eldoret. Yeah, it's sad. 57 years and 2 referral. Baby Osinya was shot in Mombasa. There was no neurosurgeon who could operate on him. He had to be airlifted to Nairobi. That is very sad. So we want those hospitals that can be upgraded to referral. Let us put money there. Do you know how much we need for a referral? We need 3 billion. You can see how amount of money we want to use in these stupid things like BBI. I don't know, we want to do this, 3 billion, blah, blah, 10 billion, 18. How many money a lot of money being looted in this country? Billions of money looted. Look at the COVID issue. How many billions have been looted? Those billions can build us 10 to 20 referral hospitals.
And yet.
Yeah. So now you are telling us BBI. You are giving us a quotation of, is it 18 billion? 18 billion, how many referral can it build for us? 10 billion can build 3 for us. 8 can build another 2. So we can have 5 referral hospital. Hawa watu wanaumia kwa barabara wagonjwa, you are told you should go to Kenyatta. Somebody is in Turkana anaambiwa Kenyatta. Somebody is in Nyeri, somebody is in Murang'a, somebody is in Thika, Garissa, being driven all the way to Murang'a because of a certain X-ray that cannot be found in the villages. So these issues of we want to bring we cannot bring one Kenya when people are sick. Let the people heal and then we talk about one Kenya. Let the people have good health and then we talk about one Kenya. Yeah.
On that note, something else you have been very passionately vocal about is this issue of the ports.
Yes.
Hapo sasa kuliendaje jamani?
You know, the port belongs to the country, first of all. The revenue that is collected by the port belongs to the citizens of this country because they are the taxpayers. The port cannot be privatized for 3 people and they run the empire. I mean, the government makes a little of revenue collection out of the port. The 3 people make a lot more than the government. So that is what we want to change. We want to make sure that this one belongs to the people of the Republic of Kenya and the money goes to the people. Whatever that is received there will help the citizens of this country. Secondly, the issue of SGR. There is what we call freedom of choice. Yes. If you want to go to Mombasa now, you can either go with a bus, a matatu, train, or air. I cannot dictate and tell you, Jackie Maribe, you must go to Mombasa by train, or you must go to Mombasa by bus. We give you your freedom. If you feel like flying, fly. If you feel like doing a train, do. If you feel like going by a Nissan or driving your own car with your family, with your friends to go and have fun, do it. But now the port, they are telling us everything must go through SGR. Now, this is Muhammad Ali who lives in Mombasa. I went to China and maybe bought a lot of things. Then they ship it to Mombasa. I live in Mombasa. I see my container in Mombasa, but I cannot touch. It goes to Naivasha, to the dry port. I leave Mombasa, go to dry port, look for a lorry to take my container and bring it back to Mombasa. That is what we don't want. If what will happen to the people who live along the corridor, along the roads, if you live in Voi, if you live in Titoandei, if you live in Kibwezi, and again the price. Transporting by rail is 120,000. Transporting by road is 80,000. If you go by rail, they will take your container there, but you'll have to return it yourself to Mombasa. If you go by road, they will take your container from Mombasa to Nairobi and return the container for you with the same price. So it's just a small impunity of people thinking that they can do business with the lives of other people. I mean, we never went to China to ask for loan alone. The loan was for the entire country. So you cannot crucify the people of Mombasa. You must make it a balance. Give us the freedom of choice. Then that's it. And then you say, we are closing all the CFS in Mombasa, but you are opening in Nairobi, you are opening in Naivasha. That is not fair. Because the beauty with CFS is like my container is there, I can take it from the port to CFS. I can agree with the owner of the storage facility. And I tell him, listen, I don't have money for now. Can my things stay here until I get the money to give it to you? So those are agreements within, the clients. If I don't have a CFS there, you take it to Naivasha or Nairobi, then you tell me a day, every day maybe is $70 to $120. If it stays there for 10 days or 30 days, how much am I going to pay these people? So that is the other thing. But if they leave the port to run the way it was, no one has a problem.
Do you feel like there would be light at the end of this tunnel, or there are particular forces that are trying to just frustrate all of this?
I think there will be a revolution. This light we've been talking for many years doesn't appear to us. There will be a revolution because now they want to merge Kenya Port, Kenya Pipeline and everything. Now the cartels are now using another means. You kill us on this side and then you bury us on this side. So if they are not going to do it for the people, then there will be total chaos in terms of people using the constitution, picketing, going to courts and destabilizing, making sure if you don't get, they also don't get. Yeah.
All right. A lot of issues that you're very vocal about at the coast, and that also affect the nation as a whole. So my question to you is this: since you're very passionate about making a change, we only have 2 years to go.
Yes.
Where is Mheshimiwa Mohamed Ali looking in 2022? If we have an election in 2022, that is.
Of course, we will have an election, but I'm a Muslim. We normally say, Inshallah, let's God first of all take us there. We don't know. We might talk about 2022 and then you die. So we normally say, God willing, if we reach there, then I'll do this and that. But I'm still there. I'm still in Nyali. God willing, 2022, I'll still be there.
So you're one of the faces that is actually Team Hustler Nation. There are comments, I don't know whether they are with you, that you could actually be the Hustler Nation candidate for governor in 2022 in Mombasa.
I don't know. Those are comments from the people. They are good comments. It's a blessing. Thank you for remembering me and wanting me to be there. But I believe there are many better candidates than Muhammad Ali. So let's give them that space.
Presented the opportunity, would you or would you not?
I wouldn't want to talk about it right now. I'm still young. I'm still learning a lot. But I believe there are brilliant minds who deserve the seat. If the people are saying we want MOHA to be the governor and everything, the people are the final. The final verdict comes from the people. All I will say is thank you. It's a blessing that people see what I'm doing. But deep in my heart, I feel like there are better people than Muhammad Ali. Perhaps we should give them a chance. If they mess up, then maybe in future, I can say now, let me go for it. But for now, let their blessing comes in handy. I appreciate. it's you. When I go to Mombasa, I hear these things a lot. They will stop me on the street, please, why do this? But I believe they are better candidates.
So as at now, where you stand, it's another stab at Nyali MP.
Yes. Remember, we are fighting for a coastal party. So we are just doing some final panel beating of our party. And then we will talk. We have our own coast party, which we are going to unveil. There are many parties that are going to come on board. We will talk about that when we reach there.
How would you rate how many legislators, if I may put it like that, from the coast are on board with having a coastal party right now?
Majority are on board. Coast leaders, majority are on board. Those who are not on board are slaves, mental slavery. Those who believe that they cannot go anywhere without Jubilee or ODM or Ford Kenya or RNC. And we want to cut down the mental slavery in our region. We shall never ever be listening to people with their own parties, but when it comes to having the share of our cake, we are always thrown to a deep end. For example, we are given tourism. There is no other powerful thing that we are going to. We want to see a coastarian sitting, being a CS for internal security, CS for finance, CS for foreign affairs. We also need these powerful seats whereby our own can go there. We want to see the port of Mombasa being run by the MD. We want to see 80% of manpower devolution goes to the citizens of that area. And when I say coastal, I mean every single person who lives there. A Kikuyu who lives there, a Masai, a Luo, a Kamba, a Turkana, a Somali, a Borana, a Kisii, all these people are coastarian. They deserve the service. They deserve the work at the port. They deserve respect. So when we talk about coastarian, sometimes people think that tunaongea tu juu ya Waiswahili na Waarabu na Wamejikenda. No, when I say coastarian, I mean every single person who lives there. A Kikuyu, a Kamba, a Masai, a Luo, all the tribes of this nation that lives there is a coastarian.
This including the debate on revenue allocation right now.
Yes.
Coast was one of the places that was going to suffer.
We were going to lose big time. Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
The entire region was supposed to lose close to 8 billion. And I think you are robbing us the port. You are robbing us the SGR. You are now saying that you are going to merge three things. You rob us everything. You are now leaving us with drugs, impunity, and extrajudicial killings. And then you want now to come and tell us, with the little we gave you, we are going to minus again. Those are thugs in suit, murderers in suit, who want to destroy the livelihoods of our children. The revenue allocation thing must be a win-win, must be fair to each and every citizen of this country. Not only Mombasa, but the entire country. It must be fair. Those areas that are marginalized should have more money. But you cannot take from marginalized areas and you give more money to some places where the government is closed and it develops those places very quickly. For example, in Mombasa, what have you seen in Mombasa ever since you were born? Nothing. It's the same old Mombasa. Infrastructure. Now, Mombasa, Malindi Road. There's no dual carriage. You know, they are starting now doing this one for us to the airport. You know, yeah. Is there a factory in Mombasa? No. We have cashew nut. We have coconut. We have the Indian Ocean. We don't even have a fish factory. You know that these people can go and fish and come and sell it there. The government can package and sell it outside. Cashew nut farming. No one cares about us. Coast region, they'll just keep kusema Mombasa ni raha. They'll just come there with their slogans, ask for vote, and then go. Year in, year out, they address us about the land issue, the injustice. But when they get the power, no one comes back to us. We are always given the title deed of 50 by 100 or 50 by 80. There is no single coastarian who owns close to 100 acres with a title deed.
Not a single one.
No. Those who own are those who are in power. The cartels that are also destroying the livelihood. But if you go up Chini, if you go right now to Kiambu or you go to Nyanza or you go to any other places, you can see somebody saying this is a quarter acre, I sit here, this is an acre. You can see people have lands with titles and they are doing a lot of amazing things in their land. But us, we are like squatters. We live in these Swahili houses, mud houses, and every year we are being promised. After every 5 years, we are being promised of goodies. These goodies are not coming. We are coming for the goodies now.
Land being so emotive, the coast region has I think, a lot of squatters.
A lot. Let me tell you, like, we are 80% squatters in our own land. The land that is not owned by us, it's owned by other people who don't live within the coast region. So what we are saying is that this time round, if they don't give it to us, we are coming for what is ours. And that is why we want a strong governor. We want strong members of parliament. We want a strong coastal political party that will reflect the entire country, but it will be born in Mombasa. Yes.
Moha, there's a lot of things going on right now in the political sphere, and we're seeing a lot of mudslinging. Things are degenerating, statements that are being made. Is this really the trajectory that this country should be on at this time, based on what we have seen in previous years?
I think we are losing it, and we have leaders with their age. We feel like these are like our father or grandfathers, but they are useless because they cannot even guide this nation. They cannot guide us as young people. They are the same people who are preaching hatred, poisoning all of us. Their age is an age that where they should sit down and tell us this is wrong, this is right, but they are fueling. When somebody goes every day to the media and outside telling people heshimu rais, heshimu rais, watu heshimu rais, every day you say heshimu rais, nani ataheshimu watu? People are dying, chakula hakuna, covid ndo hii, kazi hakuna, miundo misingi hakuna, hospitali hakuna. When will we see an old person standing up and saying, nyinyi viongozi heshimuni wananchi? These mad men and women will always stand up and say heshimu rais. They just think of stealing and eating alone. They don't think about those people. So when you hear kieleweke, I don't know, whatever names that are given out there, let them do what they want. But the people down here are not fools. If somebody can stand up as a leader, mtu mzee, the likes of Murathe, Atwoli, can stand up and abuse and say bad things about others, then it is very unfair. We are young people. We should look. Hata wamesahau African culture. They have forgotten the religion. Why would we listen to them? Why would we listen to people who every day come together like 10 to 5 people and saying that they are building this country, they are bringing everybody on board, and then you sideline others? Today, if you support Deputy President William Ruto, you are arrested. They cook something for you and then they arrest you. Or they frustrate you. Why? I thought there is freedom of choice. I thought the Constitution allows you to do anything that you like as long as you are not harming anybody. So these ulabaloos of, they are going to cause more chaos. In fact, Atwoli, Murathe, who else? These old veterans, they should go home and relax, or they should sit there and advise the young people like us and tell us, do this way, this will be good for the people, don't engage in this. But they should not be abusing people every day, threatening people that so and so will not in the ballot. Are you God? Why do you threaten? If this person dies today, what are we going to say? So mimi naona hizi siasa za wazee no wamezeeka sana. They should allow leave this to us. Wawachane nao tunyoroshe nchi.
And because the youth form the biggest
70%.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a youthful leader, please talk to our youth as we continue watching these things, and like you're saying, we have so much going on in our lives right now. Address the youth as a youthful leader.
I think I would love to tell the youth this. These old men and women will never be there without us. Stop giving them attention. They use you people, the youth, as the bloggers. They can't even construct a sentence. Leave them. Let them blog for themselves. They use you where there is violence. Leave them. Let them take their children there for the violence. They use you in terms of abusing other people. Leave them. Let them take their wives and children to abuse other people. They use you to tell you that they are working, they are bringing some solution in this country. The solution that you and I don't see. 70% of the population of this country are youths. They are jobless, they are hungry. They are being killed every day by the police. Extrajudicial killings. It's because they don't have jobs. They will be tempted to do crazy things to get food on their table. So these old guards are not helping you. Tena vijana musikize vizuri. These people are not helping you at all. These people are using you and dumping you. You can even see when they are going to give out the jobs in this country. You know, I mean, people like Murathe are still working. The veterans was there. They cannot even walk, wanafanya kazi. You cannot be given. You are just used for violence. You are just used for, attacking other people on social media, spreading rumors and gossip. Please let them not use you. Go and look for a young person like you. Start a revolution with him. Grow with him and go far places with him. Wachana na wazee. So for the youth, it's simple. There is nothing for us without us. Hii mambo ya kutumiwa, I saw the others juzi, wengine wanaenda wanaongea sijui nini, you record. Now people think that ukirecord unatumiwa 5, inaitwa mbegu. Ni 327 ama ni ngapi? 327. Yeah, unatumiwa pamoja na ya kutoa. 500 won't help you. Yeah. Go and look for that young leader. Brainstorm with him. Ask him the reason why he's here. He will tell you because he's there and he can see it. I mean, I'm in the power now. I can see how it is being played. I can tell a good person and a bad person, and I can see how things are going. Above all, wananchi si wajinga. Tutarudi baada ya miaka 5 kwa hao watu. Mama wa mboga hasomi Facebook. Askari wa mlango hasomi Facebook. So hiyo Facebook yako mtasoma tu middle class. Wale hata hampigagi kura. Kura ni uko chini mashinani. Use your knowledge. Use your ideology to help the citizens of this country, but not to create a rift among people.
And we hope that is a message that will definitely hit home. On that note, we have to end the hot seat. I wish we could have longer. Wow, so much is happening, Moha. I wish we had more time, but we always have an opportunity to sit down again.
There's always next time.
There's always a next time, sooner than we hope. But thank you so much for joining us. That has been a Nyali Member of Parliament, Mohamed Ali, and you know him as Jicho Pevu, a youthful leader, a strong-willed message to the youth. We hope you have listened, you have internalized on that. And as always, we shall see you next week on Sunday at 8 p.m. on the hot seat. God bless.